Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Who's ready for the Euros? Because we are. And more importantly though, no, I'm just kidding. Just as importantly, who's ready for all the love and the couples and the gays, and I can't wait.
But this is my favorite video of the year, every few years, because we always seem to do a video like this for the major tournaments.
What couples are going to go at it? What couples are going to go head to head?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. What couples are going to face each other at the Euros? Because this doesn't necessarily mean what players are going to face each other on games 100%, but who basically, what couples are going to be both participating in the Euros. And it's always exciting to do this. Like I said, this is mostly going to be confirmed couples, maybe some non-officially confirmed couples in their timestamps down below. Because there's some couples that maybe one team didn't qualify for the Euros, or maybe the actual individual player didn't make the team, which kind of sucks. So it's just players who officially have made the squads, because it's exciting. We love the Euros. And apparently there's going to be like a heat wave the first day of the Euros in Switzerland. I didn't even know Switzerland got that hot, but apparently maybe it doesn't normally, but there's going to be a heat wave. So everyone be careful and stay hydrated. They put out tips and tricks how to make sure you stay safe and everything. But I guess we'll get right into it. The first couple we're going to talk about, I'm going to call this couple Mrs. and Mrs. Euros, because
Okay.
they're not married, but they launched at the Euros. This is the Euro couple. And who are we talking about?
Viv and Beth, MEADEMA.
Yeah, exactly. 3 years ago, officially, not only did they launch at the Euros, they pretty much officially made their relationship official a month before the Euros, then launched a month later, which I love. I think it's really sweet, and I love that they were so public about it. I love that they felt comfortable to be public about it so quickly after officially making it official within themselves, if that made sense. But I remember we did videos. Oh, is MEADEMA a thing? No, they're just joking. They're really good friends. They're friends because they're both going through breakups. They're not a couple. And then the picture dropped of, yes, we're a couple. And I'm still kind of shook.
I was going to say, some people still don't believe it.
Just because it seemingly came out of nowhere, but we love it. I mean, it just was so, to me, just so random, because I didn't even know they were friends, all that. We've talked about that a lot. But they are both healthy, going to be at the Euros. Viv has been dealing with some injuries, like we talked about. She hasn't had the best luck. Beth, they just faced Jamaica at like a send-off type game. She scored a goal, so they are going to be there. And they've been through so much in the last 3 years. For a couple. Beth's mom passed away. They dealt with that together. They both did their ACLs, which that was still, I still can't believe that happened. Viv left Arsenal, and then Beth won the Champions League just this year. And there's kind of a storyline there. Viv leaves, and then they win Champions League. Bittersweet, I'm sure, for Viv, but they are going to be there competing against each other. They have both won the Euros, but there's one problem, Sarah.
What's the problem?
They're in the same group. And France is also in that group.
They did this on purpose.
Yeah. So unfortunately, one of them might not make it out of the group stage. I think people are maybe guessing Netherlands out of that group. So 2 will advance. So that group D is England, France, Netherlands, and Wales. People are saying they think it's going to be England and France. And that sucks. I don't know, but
They have to put Miley through this again.
I know, again. She's been through a lot. Very excited. They are the Euros couple, I'm calling them. Then let's talk about another couple. This is like the couple in WOSO to me. The OG.
The it couple.
Yes. Or the OG, they're not going anywhere couple, you know what I mean?
They could be the it couple too.
I love how defensive you got.
Yes, okay, they are it.
But who am I talking about? Harderson, Magdalena Eriksson, and Pernille Harder. And they also are unfortunately in the same group.
Someone out there is really trying to get the gays, trying to pull them apart.
Well, what's good about these two teams, though, they're 100% face each other, which I guess is nice that they will.
Oh, I could see, yeah. I could see that. On the other hand, they're doing them a solid and saying, hey, you can spend extra time together.
Yeah. And have memories facing each other, I suppose. But yeah, so they're going to be in the same group as well, and probably Denmark won't make it out of that group, which sucks, but who knows? I mean, it's the Euros. I know, knock on wood. But again, they kind of launched at the 2019 World Cup. We remember that picture, that famous kiss. And they said they gained 50,000 followers overnight, when at that time, that was unheard of. It's not like so more people are on Instagram and whatnot, but they said that kiss kind of changed their lives in a lot of ways. And they're so outspoken for LGBT rights and LGBT topics, and they're really inspirational for a lot of people in a lot of ways. And they're now newly engaged. Well, I guess it's been about a year since they've been engaged, but they are officially engaged. And they just did an article in Scandinavian Vogue. They look gorgeous, but they're going to play each other. What will be nice? Say Sweden moves on and Denmark doesn't, or vice versa. You know, WAG Pernille will be there. WAG Magda will be there rooting on their other half.
Magdalena.
Yeah, I like that. And we know how serious they are when they do play each other. You know, they really go for it, and I'm excited for them. Maybe Denmark, it's the Euros. Maybe Denmark can surprise a lot of people. So we have them. Love them. Then we have a couple that luckily is not in the same group together, but there's a good chance they might face each other, is your favorites.
Lucy and Ona.
Yes.
Lona.
Yeah. It's other name. Yeah, Lona. I like that. And they are two teams that people basically say, Spain, England, very possible that either one of those teams can win. But they're going to, and they kind of, I don't want to say launched, they kind of mini launched at the last World Cup.
Remember when we saw those epic pictures? I mean, who could forget?
Yeah.
Who could forget?
So they kind of mini launched. And then I would say that when Lucy went to the Olympics to support Ona with wearing the Battier jersey, I can't believe it.
Battier jersey. I like that.
I give it an accent. That, you know, they kind of launched. And over the last year, they've really, not been, they've really officially launched, not been shy. They've actually were spotted at a couple weddings in the last month together, doing a little vacation. So they're definitely still together, it seems like. It's definitely still together, enjoying each other's time. But again, when you're going for the gold or going for the goal, Lucy especially, it's kind of no holds barred. You want to win. You're not going to give it to your other half because you want them to win. Lucy really wants to win this. Obviously, Ona does too. But, the English want to defend their title. Spain's going to make it hard for them. Then we talked about Magda and Pernille being an engaged couple. Another engaged couple that are going to be facing off against each other is our very own Gotham lovebirds themselves, Jess Carter and AKB.
Yeah! Sorry, I got excited.
I know. Also known as KATRIN BERGER. And we are obsessed watching them on Gotham. That's our team. And we get to watch them every week. And we love it.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough seeing them on opposite teams.
Yeah, trying to kill each other in the nicest way possible. Well, because Germany, a lot of people are saying this is Germany's to lose in a lot of different ways. So there's a lot of things going on for a lot of teams, but they're saying Germany is that team. A lot of people are picking Germany to win. And I'm sure because Jess Carter won the Euros last time, AKB is saying, okay, I think it's Germany's time to win.
Oh, yeah, for sure. She's ready.
Yes. And they're engaged. And somebody said they might have gotten married, but maybe secretly, because I didn't see that anywhere, because I've been on the lookout.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. But they're going to be facing each other. Again, are they in the same? I don't think they're in the same. And they are not in the same group, which will be nice. Actually, they're in the group with Denmark, Germany, Poland, and Sweden. So most people think it's going to be Germany and Sweden coming out of that group. And the group D. Then another couple we have talked about before on our couples of the World Cup a couple years ago. And they are seemingly still going strong. And that is Linda Sembrant and Lisa Boattin. I am probably pronouncing that a little bit incorrectly, but we've talked about them before. And this is a beautiful Swedish and Italian couple. We've talked about them. Again, they are not in the same group. Italy is in group B, and they could get out of that group. I think Italy could be the dark horse of this tournament. They're in Group B, which is Belgium, Spain, Italy, Portugal. So they have a very good chance of getting out of their group. But remember, at the World Cup, they had that kind of big hug that they did when the cameras were there. Not for the camera purposes, but they showed them that they were competing, and they had kind of that viral hug. And it was beautiful. And that was a couple years ago. And they don't post too much on social media, but they still will put hearts in the comment section, and they'll put, I think Linda put something on Lisa's that said "my winner," because Lisa had won something pretty recently. So they're not too much on social media, but it still seems like they're together. And I went on the boards, and I saw someone said, "Is Lisa and Linda still together?" And someone said, "Yep, they are still together." So hopefully, because love them. So maybe they will face each other, And then another Italian player that is going to compete against their partner is
Viola Caligaris and Ariana Caruso.
Yeah. We have talked about Viola before because last World Cup, she was included in our partners of the World Cup, but she has another partner now. So, but no shade, nothing. It's just last relationship ended, and she's in this new beautiful relationship with Ariana Caruso. Apparently Viola is on loan at Bayern Munich, and they both played for Juventus in Italy. And I think that's where they met and got together. And apparently they've been together since I saw online maybe since about almost a year ago, September of 2024. They're a little more low key on social media, but I think if she was with her old partner called Sandy, if she was with Sandy and then she got with Ariana, maybe you want to be a little more low key because when you have a new girlfriend, it always is hard, and we know people say really nasty things sometimes. So maybe someone wants to be a little more, wants to be a little more low key.
Yeah, it's tough transition.
Yeah. But what is really fun, what is really special for Viola is that Ariana is from Italy.
But Viola is from the host country of the Euros, which is Switzerland.
Yeah. That's really special. Viola gets to play in her home country, show it off to her partner, and, they get to show the world Switzerland. Now, I think Switzerland already has a great reputation for being an absolutely gorgeous country.
Yes, I get TikToks all the time. Yeah. Switzerland, beautiful. Such views.
Yeah. So they don't need too much promotion, but I think in the idea of what sport means to them, because they're not necessarily known as really famous for necessarily sports necessarily, but you get to show off your country. Your whole family gets to come. So Viola gets to show that to Ariana, and I think that's really special that she gets to play in her home country, and also we know home countries for big tournaments always do really well. So could they be a shock of the Euros as well? They are okay. So Switzerland is in Group A, which also looks like they could maybe get out of that group. Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Switzerland. I think most people are saying maybe Switzerland and Norway, or Switzerland or Norway and Iceland. That group is really the toss-up group, but Switzerland have a very good chance of doing well. You always do well at your home country because you have the fan support, the conditions well. So I'm excited for them, excited for this couple too, that they get to share this moment together. That kind of leads us to another Swiss player, the Swiss queen herself. I'm going to call this the Swiss queen herself, Miss LIA WALTI.
Oh.
And the absolute superstar, Mariona Caldentey. They're going to be there at the Euros together. Now, there have been, are they official? Not really, but in the last 9 months, they've really been sharing more, putting cutesy pictures online, kind of showing their love for each other. And there's this story of LIA WALTI playing for Arsenal, Mariona coming over. Most people say to be one of the reasons why to be with Lia. not just to be with Lia, but hey, what can I do for this team? Winning the Champions League together her first year. We say this a lot, but that truly is a fairy tale, bringing your partner over, winning the Champions League. Mariona is an absolute superstar. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah. And Lia started an Instagram called Lia Switzerland, and it's just showing off Switzerland, the beauty, just kind of like getting people fired up for the Euros being in Switzerland. Like we said, they don't need too much promotion because Switzerland is known as being a pretty incredible country, but what Lia's doing there is really cool. And Mariona, there's some pics and stuff, and it looks beautiful, but they get to be there together. And just what a year. And they did an interview for British GQ, and they didn't talk about them or anything. They just kind of talked about Arsenal, talked about the Euros. And again, Mariona gets to go be with Lia's family in Switzerland and really enjoy the Euros. And
very sweet love story.
So excited for them. And like I said, over the last 6-9 months, they've been a lot more, they have been showing they've been showing their love more and more. Yeah, it's hard to have a year like they did, a fairy tale of a year, and then not want to kind of not show it off, but show it, And Lia had a really hard breakup with Caitlin, so it's just, I'm so happy. She looks so happy, and they both look so happy. So that's another couple. And then the last couple we are going to talk about, again, this isn't necessarily official. They've been posting a lot of pictures, but it's pretty much official, and I don't know. It's enough to be included in this video.
Oh, I'll be the judge of that.
I knew you were going to say that. And also, this couple is a couple that a lot of people are saying came out of nowhere. One of those things where, did they even know each other? Like, how do they know each other, basically? We're going to get to that in a second. But
and the couple is Lia Schuler and Martina Piemonte.
That is the couple. And we talked about Lia Schuler last year for the Olympics, our last video about couples at the Olympics. And she was famously in a couple with Lara Vadlau, gold medal winning Lara Vadlau. And do you remember the story? It was kind of like they were together. They were kind of quiet about things. Then the story broke, and the media kind of was pushing the story that after Lara had won the gold medal, they had broken up at the village. Remember that story that was kind of out there?
Yeah, that was wild. Wild time to be alive.
It turns out they didn't break up at the village. They didn't break up at the Olympics. They had broken up 9 months before, but kept it low key because they were both focused on the Olympics. So they officially had broken up. And then at some point, people kind of caught on. They said, wait, it seems like Lia and Martina might be together. But this is the thing.
If there's one thing that wasn't on my bingo card, it was Lia Schuler dating Martina Piemonte.
Yeah, so people were kind of shook at this. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Martina, but I do know it's another Italian. I mean, these Italians are lovers. That I don't know what to say about this. But also, and I see this on Twitter as well, it says they've apparently been on and off dating since last summer, it seems. There was a little drama, apparently, though. With any good love story, there's drama. Apparently, Martina or Lia, they went through a series of blocking each other for a period of time. Blocking, then unblocking each other on Instagram. And how people can know that, there's somehow that they can know because I'm not quite sure, but there's a way to figure that out, how you can tell if another person's blocked another person. But they've resolved that because they seem to be together now.
Classic follow unfollow, you know.
A good love story has to come from somewhere. So people are saying that they're very surprised where this couple comes from. I even see on TikTok right here, people are like, where do they know each other? Like, they didn't play on the same club team. They didn't play on the same national team. And I see this on TikTok. I don't know if this is accurate, though. They says,
finally, someone is talking about those two. I still can't figure out how they know each other. Someone replies, help, same.
And then someone in that thread says they met each other on vacation, apparently. But I don't know if it was like mutual friends and there was 2 group vacations, or if one was in Paris, the other was in Paris, and they happened to be like, oh, you're a soccer player, I'm a soccer player. That doesn't seem like the way they met. They probably have mutual friends, but people are saying this couple has kind of come out of nowhere and people are into it. Very hot couple, too. They're one of those couples that just have the look, if you know what I'm saying. So really, really attractive hot couple, and they somehow
met.
Yeah, they did. They're both going to be participating at the Euros. And that is all of the couples we're going to talk about. There were also a couple couples who either, like I said, didn't make the team, like someone like Mappy and Ingrid. Mappy isn't really with the Spanish team anymore, so obviously they won't be there together. And then a couple like Natalie Björn and her girlfriend Aurora Galli, also from the Italian team. Aurora actually did her ACL, I believe last year, technically in September 2024. So she's not fully fit for the Italian team, so she wasn't selected. They probably would have been in the video. And then also a couple people from our last video that there was no breakup announcements or anything, like Rochelle Baldi and Cata Coll and Pina. So, we don't know if they're still together, but shout out to them if they are. So a couple couples like that. Also, there's something going on with the Spanish team. When I started to look into it, we could even do a separate video. Have you heard that thing on social media? The idea, are they dating or are they Spanish? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Because it looks like Cata Coll and Pina look like they're kind of together. They look like they're together.
But somehow Patri
is involved. Like, I don't know if it's a throuple situation or if they broke up. If Pina and Patri were dating, then they're exes, and then Cata Coll ran in there. I'm actually not quite sure. So I didn't really investigate that much. So that could be going on, as well as I heard that Vicky Lopez and Salma Paluelo might be together. I read that. I don't know if that's true. So this is completely just kind of gossip here right now, but I don't know if that's true. Then I read Aitana and Codina were together, but then they got in a fight. So I read so many things that I don't know about the Spanish true, what exactly is true. So that could be another video at some point. But yeah, so there's something going on with the Spanish team does have a lot going on. Also, is there a couple that is going to launch at the Euros? We had Viv and Beth last Euros. I don't think anyone launched at the Olympics this year. I can't think of anyone. Maybe kind of Lucy and Ona in their way launched at the Olympics. Now I've heard rumors maybe an American could launch with a European this Euros. Who knows? Maybe not.
Who's fetching this data?
I know, exactly. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Any couples we didn't cover? Any couples that we have wrong? Let us know. We're excited. The Euros start on Wednesday. Hopefully this video goes out Tuesday before. Questions, comments down below. What does everyone think? We're excited for the Euros. Oh, okay. Sarah, do you have a prediction for the Euros winner?
Everyone's going to be a winner this year. I think Spain or England.
Yeah, me too. Me too. They're too strong. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.